What's up, YouTube? Today's the day I'm gonna be installing the fuel pump, running the feed, doing the regulator, hot wire kit, everything. So bear with me. Just want to get the hood open real quick. The first thing I need to do is disconnect the battery. But I wanted to go over what I've got going on. So in my previous videos, I've showed what I'm going to use for my filter, how I modified the regulator to should be able to keep it down to 58 psi. I got 20 foot of PTFE fuel line, all the fittings, the hot wire kit, everything I need to use to splice that. I got some heat shrink, but I really wanted to go over how I built the fuel pump. So I got a video up of how I did it, or it working. So this right here is going to be obviously my feed. So it leaves the pump, goes to the fuel hat. I'm going to use the factory feed as my return. So the way it works is it runs through here. This is my jet pump. So when the fuel comes through here, it creates a vacuum, which then uses this tube to suck. So that's going to suck fuel outside of there. Now there is a one-way check valve inside of here, so it lets fuel in but doesn't come out. So if there's any fuel in the tank, it'll get in here, so it'll be able to suck fuel. But this is going to allow it to, you know, I didn't cut the bucket, so this is going to keep it so that it has factory characteristics. This was $80.99 plus tax and shipping, and I think it's well worth it, especially if you're trying to be safe and keep your vehicle running like factory. So that's it. I'm gonna try and get as much of this documented as I can. I'm sure it won't be perfect, but I will at least explain everything that I do and try and get a video of everything installed afterwards. So I just wanted to let y'all know about the pump and what I'm using, and like I said, I'll try and document as much as I can along the way. So appreciate it. All right, so I'm taking the bed bolts out completely, taking them out completely on the driver's side, and then I'm going to loosen the 4 of them up on the passenger side so that I can lift the bed up and tilt it and then wedge something underneath here so that I can get to the fuel pump. So that's where I'm at right now. So we'll see. I'll keep you posted. So there's the fuel pump. I got the bed resting on these wheel chocks. So this will give me plenty of room to work. At least it should. I'll make it do though. All right. So the new housing and everything is in. I'm gonna go ahead and say, if you're doing it on one of these trucks, go ahead and take the bed off if you don't have any help. And you probably ain't gonna take the bed off if you ain't got no help. So I suggest you have a buddy help you out with this, because as deep as that tank is, it is almost nearly impossible to get that pump out. Got it out, got the new one in. It was a nightmare. Probably gonna be the hardest part of this job. But I just wanted to fill y'all in. I'm getting ready to do the hot wire, and then I'm going to put the bed back on, or lower the bed back down, and do the rest of it, the regulator and fuel line, which I'm pretty sure is going to go a lot easier than the rest of this did. So anyhow, well, that's that, and I'll touch base. So a little video on where I'm at. I got the cable going to the pump, spliced right here. That's feeding signal to the relay. Then the relay sends power right here to the pump. I used this spot right here for my ground and mounted the relay right there. So just getting everything tidied up before I put the bed back down. And I already got my feed leaving the pump. I'm going to bring it down so that I can tie it into the filter on the bottom side. So that's where I'm at. just wanted to give y'all an update. Oh, well, I'm getting ready to cut this feed line. It's gonna go into here, right here, and then it's gonna leave on this side and run along the frame rail into the engine bay. I also got to splice the hot wire in the engine bay and install a regulator, and I'll touch base then. So I actually didn't get finished tonight. It's 6:08. I started at 11 o'clock today. The biggest headache, you know, like I said, was the bed and everything. Once I got done with that, got the bed put back down, and the relay and everything wired in. The fuel filter was a breeze. Running the PTFE up to the engine bay was a breeze. Now I gotta finish configuring the fuel pressure regulator. But what the headache I'm running into now is getting the quick connect for the factory feed off of the content sensor. If you don't know what a content sensor is, it's my flex fuel sensor. Getting that off so that I can run that to the -6 on the return, and then all I got to do is plumb my feed into the regulator and the output to the fuel rail. So that's where I'm at, and then all I got to do after that is, like I said, finish splicing the positive wire to the battery or alternator, which one I hadn't decided I wanted to do yet, which either one will be just fine. So I'll pick back up tomorrow. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. I want to do an update. So I'm getting the last hose done on the fuel pressure regulator. This is going to go from the output to the fuel rail, but I wanted to do a show y'all how you do PTFE fittings. So you measure it. I like to put tape on it so it stops the ends from fraying. You can use a die grinder, an angle grinder, any kind of grinder. If you have one, I didn't, which I probably need one, but I just use hose cutters, and it does a pretty good job. And then I just take the insert that goes inside the plastic portion and straighten the plastic out. Then you take this guy right here, and this goes in between the braid and the actual plastic portion of the hose, and you just get it in there about like that. Make sure it's in there nice and good. And this goes right in there. And you just screw it on. So I'm gonna get this put together, get this on the regulator, and all I got to do is do one splice on the voltage feed from the battery to the relay. So I'll touch base when I'm done with that. All right, so regulator is done. Fuel rail and everything's hooked back up. Battery's hooked back up. I just made my final splice in the wire. I just got to zip tie that up, but I'm gonna turn the truck on run, not fire it up, just to see if I got any leaks and check fuel pressure. All right, so you can see right at 58 psi, running. No leaks over there. And apparently still have a leak right here. Okay, so I need to figure that out. All right, so I guess at some point in time during all the installation and stuff, I may have compromised the seal on the top of that filter, because the fuel is actually leaking through where the filter seals somehow. So I guess the filter's bad. So I'm gonna go up and get me a new one tomorrow and put that on, and hopefully that'll be it. I got fuel pressure where I need it. No leaks in the engine bay, thank God. I did have to replace one of my 90s on the fuel filter. Just it was a bad fitting. It came that way, so I went and got me a nice one and some spares in case I need them. So, but now all I was left to do is tune it, and she's done until I start putting some turbo parts on it. So hope y'all enjoyed. Feel free to ask any questions if you have them. So I'm in the truck. It's running. I really am trying to make that canister, fuel filter, and housing work, but looks like I just ordered, you know, like the Aeromotive one, or that style or whatever, just because I can't get those MPT fittings to seal. I've tried Teflon tape, or excuse me, PTFE tape, and PTFE sealant, like the gel, sort of, on the threads, and it's still, I mean, it's not pissing fuel out, obviously. I have good fuel pressure and everything, but it's still annoying, and it's just trickling down where those MPT fittings go into the housing. So that's where I'm at, and when that gets in, I'll get it put together and hopefully finish this video up. So, but I'm happy with the way everything else is. Everything inside the engine bay is good. No leaking there, at least not that I know of. I'm gonna check it here in a minute, but I don't believe that it is. Fuel pressure staying good, so I'll touch base then. What's up, YouTube? It's now Saturday. I started this project on Sunday. Last night my new fuel filter and mount came in for it, so I'm gonna try this out. This is O-ring, so it's not gonna leak. And that was the problem I was having with the one that I kind of made. It was leaking on one of the MPT fittings. So this is O-ring. I shouldn't have that problem. So I'm gonna get this installed, and then that's the end of the fuel system. So I'll update once I'm done. That's the new filter setup right there. We'll see. So, as you can see, it was leaking on the outside of those MPT fittings, and I tried everything. I tried tape, I tried the goo, combination of the goo and the tape, and it was still leak. And it wasn't like a bad leak. It was a very, 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 very slow leak. But what the problem was, hold on, I'm gonna flip you around. It was a very, very slow leak. And the problem was that it was just enough of a leak to bleed off pressure when it wasn't running, so that I would have to prime the motor before it actually turned over. So I would get hard starts. I'm riding my son's electric scooter. Just figured I'd add this in there. Leaks there, 58 base idle fuel pressure, regulator's working. She's a little rich, but nothing crazy. I'm also, just to do a further test on this Venturi, see where my fuel level is, I'm gonna run it to E, see what happens. So I think that's it for this. So we'll get everything compiled into one video and edit everything and get this posted today. So hope y'all enjoyed this video. If you have any questions about it, let me know. If I can help you in any sort of way, feel free to follow me on Instagram or Facebook. You know, I don't have any of that posted. I'll try and get that on my YouTube page so you can ask me questions and stuff. But hope y'all enjoyed this video.